Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Kevin, and this is my hetero life mate, Troy.
I love how you say that. Hetero life mate. Such a good description.
Hey, I didn't call you that nickname that you hate.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah. All right.
There might have been a roofie in your drink.
Whoa. You know what? I'm ready to jump right into these beers.
Okay, I'm thirsty.
What I did was I went to the store and they had a bunch of boxes everywhere in the aisle I was in. And so every time anybody came down the aisle, I got really bad, like, oh, God damn it, I got to fucking be dick to dick with this person as they go by me, or like ask to, because
Nut
like,
to butt.
and I was like, I can't watch it while like somebody's like, excuse me, oh, I'm behind you. And I was in the chip aisle too, so it was fucking like packed. Anyway, so I saw this. It has a mustache on it, and like a guy, he's wearing like a, I don't know. Anyway, it's called A-OK from Wyoming Craft. No, it's a Wyoming craft beer from Gruner Brothers Brewing from Casper, Wyoming.
Okay.
I'll read what it says. Our Marzen style lager, which I don't know what that is, celebrates October all year round. Fall is one of the best seasons in Wyoming, with days spent outdoors, enjoying hunting, fishing, and just being A-OK. That's the name of the beer. Wyomingites cherish these times before winter settles in. So here it is, making it always October. It's summer right now, so
I'm not sure I'm going to like this beer.
You don't think so? What's wrong with it?
I don't know.
Oh, you're just on the fence.
I'm on the fence about it, but we're going to find out.
You're just not a Wyoming fan?
I am not a...
You ever been to Wyoming?
Yes, I have been to Wyoming far too many times. And I'm sorry if you live in Wyoming. I'm just not a fan. Not a fan.
No, it's not bad. It's not blowing my mind, but it kind of reminds me of like a...
You know what it is? It's A-OK.
It's A-OK? It reminds me of like a brown ale. That's what it tastes like.
Not super full. I mean, it's not bad.
No, it's just, yeah.
It's a beer.
Yeah. I'm going to look up what a Marzen style is real quick.
Can I tell you a story while you're looking that up?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to wait
Go ahead.
until we're done with beer?
Tell me a story.
So my wife encouraged me to tell this story during our break. So recently got a new tattoo. Mm-hmm. It's of Daffy Duck pushing a mower through. Oh, Jesus, fuck.
Pushing a mower through your what?
My pubes.
Oh, okay.
No, recently we got our wedding rings tattooed. And it's something that we've been wanting to do since we initially got married. And so today, I saw the tattoo artist that I have been going to had some open space on his calendar. And I'm like, hey, honey, do you want to go get our rings done today? Because we've been hemming and hawing about the dates for a long time. Or not the dates, the style that we're going to do on the ring. And she's like, yeah, we can do it. Looked at our budget, and we have not been very frugal the past month. We've been spending money on a lot of dumb shit, which is okay to do. Everybody, moderation in everything, including moderation. But so she's like, I don't know if we should. And then she's like, oh, I got an idea. She's like, I got my ring from my ex-husband, and we have your ex-fiance's ring. Do you want to go pawn them? I'm like, yeah, I do. So we went to the pawn shop, got $400 for those two rings, and went and bought some wedding ring tattoos.
You know, I think that's actually like a, almost poetic,
The end of one thing.
Yeah. You're
the beginning of another.
Yeah. You're closing one door and opening another.
Actually, she has said multiple times that, like, she hates opening her jewelry box and seeing him in there because it resonates bad memories of the past. And she's like, getting rid of them today was like a big weight off my chest. So, nice. But yeah, we used those rings and got us a nice new one.
Cheers. Cheers to that. Yeah. Congratulations on your ring tattoo. That's sweet.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
I thought it would hurt a lot more. It actually didn't hurt as bad as I thought it would.
I'm surprised they didn't go like all the way around, but
So I asked for it to go all the way around.
Yeah.
And because what I was going to do is I wanted to do our full wedding date, which is 10/10/2020. And I wanted to have her initials. I wanted to have JG on my finger. And he's like, look, I can do it, but once you go all the way around, the palm of your hand doesn't hold ink.
Oh.
And it's going to start to look like shit. Even what you guys are going to get, it like your fingers don't hold ink very well. They bleed over time. He's like, it's going to look good and crisp right now, but over time it'll start to fade and bleed. Because originally we went in there with the Roman numerals for our wedding, which is XXMMXX. And her finger is so small, he couldn't fit that. So we just went down to the year. And so now we both have 2020 tattooed on our ring fingers. But I'll like zoom in, like I guess I can show the camera here and maybe I'll zoom in that piece so they can see it. But yeah.
2020, best year in the world.
COVID couldn't stop us from
getting married.
Yeah. Shitty year for the world, but it was a good year for us. Being quarantined and being together is fucking awesome for us. I love spending time with my wife.
I enjoyed that quarantine time just because like my wife and I were like, I don't know, we just watched a lot of TV, played a lot of video games, drank a lot. Like I think everybody did. It was a weird excuse for everybody to get wasted.
I think it was a really good time for bonding with your significant other.
Yeah.
I mean, the one caveat to that I will say is that I don't think the remote school was good for any of the kids.
No,
I think it was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I appreciate that we adapted and found ways to teach and have them continue going to school around all that. But like being quarantined and home with my wife and my kids was never an issue. I never like got cabin fever and was like, God, I gotta get out of here. It was nice to just fucking
we had a lot of frustrations with schooling and stuff during that time. Yeah. It just sucked. But then once they got back to school and stuff like that, then, it was like a bit of like we got to try to figure out how to learn again, But our youngest boy, how about that? When he went back to school, we had to go to a parent teacher conference for him. And his teacher said that he was like a half a year to a year behind of what he should be. But she also said that due to the remote learning styles, like a majority of the kids were behind because of that. Yeah, they said the same thing to us. Yeah. Yeah. And then now both my kids are doing really well. Like they're both like as far as every parent teacher conference that you have to, parent teacher conference you have to go to, it's like they usually have nothing to say about it. They're just like, yeah, your kid's great. I'm like, oh, thank God. Doesn't that always feel kind of like a job interview anytime you go into one of those things? Oh. Like, what did my fucking kid do? Yeah. Yeah. I always am like, they're going to be like, well, strap in. But Mr. Peterson, sit down in this tiny chair. We have something we need to talk to you about. It's always the tiniest chairs. I'm always like, my knees are up to my face, and I'm like, tell me about my child. I think it's a power move on the teacher's part because you sit in them little ass chairs, and I feel like about that fucking big. Like, I'm not going to talk shit back to you. You're sitting taller than I am right now. Yeah, no shit. Oh, God. I promise I did my homework this time. Did you ever see Uncle Buck? Remember that movie? It has been so long since I've seen that with John Candy. Yeah, he goes into the school and he has to pee or whatever. It's like the tiny urinal. It's a tiny urinal and he's kneeling down and he's like he's got one knee up. He's trying to do it. That's just what that made me think of. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's like in those schools. I hang so low, though, that I don't have to, get down on a knee. It just flops down. The water's usually a little cold, but... Yeah, I bet. Yep. Yep. You can catch that on onlytroy.com. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my kid told me I'm dangerous because I told her a couple of like stories about like the scars that I have. Okay. And I thought we could do a little bit of a scar comparison.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna start off with like, cause I don't know, being a dad, you just kind of you get your hands fucking dirty.
We both work office jobs, Kevin.
I know, but before that, I don't get fucked up anymore. Like I don't get like scarred up anymore. But like when I worked any job before that, or just being a young dumb kid or whatever.
Yeah.
So I got scars all over, but the worst ones, most noticeable ones, are my fingers, because I was a kid and I put my finger into a industrial fan belt.
Dumb shit.
Well, I was 2.
Okay, in all fairness, I was like 10 and stuck my index finger into a cigarette lighter of it wasn't glowing red. I didn't know it was hot. So I went to stick my finger in and it was hot.
Yeah, burn your finger. Yeah. Well, they had to under my watch, you can see I got a scar there, right? I took skin from my wrist and they put it here and they grafted my finger. Shit. And so this was all gone. And so if you look, you can see there's no fingerprint. It grew.
We could commit crimes.
It grew back. We could not commit crimes because this is a very easy print to find. To look for somebody with a fucked up finger. I remember when they printed me and they were like, let's make sure we do this hand. I'm like, I remember being a kid being like, trying to catch me and doing something, lady?
To catch a predator.
So over COVID, actually, I found out that I should not open cans with my left hand because I went like that and like the bent can lid went right into my thumb right there.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
When I worked at Walmart, which I did while I was in college, I had a box knife and I went to open up a package and right across my finger and it was it was a bad one. And I called my wife and I was like, get the first aid kit. I'm coming home for lunch. Like she comes home and she's like, she's got everything like all laid out. Like she thought I lost a finger or whatever. And I had like taken a bunch of paper towels. I'd soaked through them, like the blood. I was just bleeding like crazy, dripping all the way out, like everywhere. And anyway, because my kid will still see these scars I have and she'll ask me about them and I'll tell her a story and she'll be like, you're dangerous. I'm like, I think you mean accident prone. Dangerous makes it sound like I'm cool. Like
I'm not cool at all.
That's my middle name. I got bit by a dog when I was just a wee lad. Right there. It's a perfect line there. I got I got a bunch of leg ones from just fucking getting hurt. I got one on my leg from where, like, when I played football, I cleated myself. My cleat went like right into my own leg. And it was bleeding. I didn't even notice it. And my coach
heat of battle.
My coach was like, "Your leg's all messed up." I'm like, "Oh," it was just dripping. Yeah. I don't know. You got any scars there, Troy?
I have lots of scars. Yeah. Some of them I can't show you.
Yeah, you got wiener scars.
That extension surgery.
Oh, I thought you were going to say when I broke it.
No. So a couple that come to mind. When I was in my early 20s, I was cutting a potato and the fucking knife slipped and it was a Cutco knife. I don't know if you know anything about knives. Cutco is like, it's like super sharp. And I got 7 stitches in my hand right there. I went to work that week, and at that time I was moving houses. So like, not like moving boxes, like physically picking houses up, moving them, setting them down in a different location. And we were moving the old photo booth at Old Faithful. So there's like a gift shop by Old Faithful that I moved that building there.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, while I was doing that, I racked my head off a steel beam and had, 6 staples in my head.
Oh, shit.
So I had 6 staples and 7 stitches in my head and hand at one time.
Damn.
Another one I had is when I was coaching hockey, I took a stick to the face, and like if I move my eyebrow hair around, you can see like the scar in my eyebrow from where I took a hockey stick to the face. I got like a divot on my forehead from taking a rock there when I was a kid. Probably the dumbest thing I've ever done is when I was a teenager, I was with a buddy and we were out fishing and had a campfire. And he's like, "Hey, we're gonna be best friends forever. We should brand each other.
Oh fuck.
And I'm like, you know what? That sounds like a really
That's a
good
really
fucking
genius
idea. And so I have since covered it up with tattoos, but I have an X brand on my shoulder that was covered up by one tattoo and then covered up by another tattoo, and this one will be eventually covered up because I don't like this one either. But yeah, so I have a brand on my left shoulder.
Oh damn.
From when I was, young and dumb.
I actually forgot about one. When I played football, I had my hand would get stepped on, or like I'd hit it all the time. Mm-hmm. Hands were always just fucking meat balloons, which is purple, from getting fucked up. And I got one of those ganglion cysts on my knuckle, and
I get those right there.
Oh, fuck yeah, I would hit it on something, and then it would be so painful. Like my hands would shake. It would be that painful because it was just this marble under my skin. So I went and got it removed. And when they stitched it up, it's in the worst place. Like any movement, and it's stretching your skin around right here.
Oh,
so you can see the scar there. Oh, and I got it all wrapped up, and then I had to go to work because I worked at a fast food place when I was 16, and it immediately split open.
Oh fuck.
So, and I was like, but it wasn't like bleeding because they cauterized it, with electric cauterizer. But I watched them do it. I was just like, that's messed up. Fucking gross. You could see, like, you could smell it. From when they, with the electric cauterizer. So the smoke's coming out, and I'm like,
that's me burning.
Weird. That's a weird. And people were like, this is interesting. Most people don't like to look. I'm like, I don't like to, but I can't look away. Like, but
I recently, do you know the cure for those cysts? What they tell you to do, or how they used to cure them back in the day?
Like they would like break them or like move them or whatever.
They would just take a big book, like a dictionary or whatever, or the Bible, and fucking slam it on them, and they would pop, and that's how they would get rid of them.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
that would hurt. I would be like that, and I'd be like, ugh.
Yeah. This one doesn't hurt that bad, but that's what they would. When I went in, because I went in to have that checked out because I wanted to get it removed. It's not like painful, but like there's times where it's uncomfortable, and they're like, there's actually like a term for it. I can't remember the term off the top of my head, but they would put your hand down on a table, slam it with a heavy book, and it would pop. But I recently had one removed out of the back of my neck. Same kind of deal. But they actually took that one out, and my wife watched the whole procedure. My wife would have been like the best dermatologist ever, like Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure she's in there with a vibrator, just fucking enjoying the shit out of that show. It's just
pop it good.
But she watched the whole procedure, and like I got pictures of the little.
I remember we were comparing head lumps that one time. Yeah. Mine, actually, I'm not kidding, went away. Oh, it was a big ass lump, and I could feel it, and it was a big lump under there. I can't find it anymore, so it's gone.
That's
which is
awesome.
Really weird because I was like, man, maybe I should get it removed, but it just went away.
No, and what they told me when I went to have it removed is like, just so you know, there's a really good chance that this is going to come back. And they might come back all over other places on your head, and they'll go away over time. But if this one's causing you discomfort, you can get rid of it.
This one came back, and then it like flattened out, and so like there's just this really flat, hard piece there that's not really like noticeable anymore. So it's just kind of there.
That's kind of what's happened with this one. This one used to be significant. Like it's nothing now compared to what it was, but it used to be like.
Oh God!
It was good size.
Yeah.
But I don't know why is the sound for that, but it was decent. It's the same reason that Doom Vision has, gun noises.
Gun noises.
But yeah, it was good size. Yeah. But
I think a lot of dads out there can relate. Like my dad had, he's missing this. He's just got this much of his finger, and then John actually is got his finger. So it's kind of like a Peterson guy thing, is to get a piece of your finger fucked up or removed or messed up or whatever.
Well, can you hold some logs? I'm going to be building a new deck here soon, and I might need you to hold some logs.
Yeah, I can just, no problem. I got 10 fingers.
Actually, one of the worst, and I don't remember it a whole lot, but when I was really young, my mom could tell the story better. I had braces, and I was out playing with a friend of mine, and maybe I didn't have braces yet. I can't remember, but I got hit in the mouth with a baseball bat.
Oh, fuck.
And I knew I was missing teeth, not from the baseball bat, but like, so my mom, I was just like gushing blood out of my mouth, and my mom was like going through my mouth, like trying to make sure I had all the teeth that I was supposed to have. But that was one time I got fucked up. I have scars on the inside of my mouth. Do you want to look at them, Kevin?
You want to look at the scars in your mouth?
I'm going to invite you into my mouth.
Oh, I'll take a look when we're playing tonsil hockey later.
But yeah, I have quite a few scars.
My sister Melanie, she found my finger when it got off, and then when John got his slammed in a door, and my mom was like, "Melanie, I need you to find the finger," and she's like, "Not again!" Like, 'cause she found it when I was a kid. But they used to have me go around because I had a big cast on, and they would be like, we'd be like in, I don't know, Sunday school or something like that. And they'd be like, "Hey, go hit that guy with your cast," and I'd be like, "Okay," and I whack him. They'd be like, "They told me to do it." So.
Yeah, actually, that's one of my biggest fears as a father now. So I have two big fears as a father now. Number one is choking. Like anytime my kids like cough or anything when they're eating, I'm like, "Oh yeah, you choking?"
Yeah.
I don't know why that freaks me out. And the other one is specifically with my daughter getting her hand slammed indoors. She has like an affinity. So like, you know, when you get out of the car and the door opens, there's like that bar there where the door overlaps. She loves to put her hand there for some fucking reason. And she's slammed it in the door probably 3-4 times. Like, have you not learned yet?
Yeah. That happened to Evie one time. And they were like, "We got to open the door because it latched or whatever." My mom slammed my hand in the trunk and it latched. Oh, and when I was really young, and I was like, my hand is just like in there. Yeah. And she could not get those keys to work. Like, she dropped them. I'm like, hurry, I'm dying here. And yeah,
it's fine, Mom. My hand is just stuck in the fucking trunk.
She opened it up, and I was like, you know, and there was just like, it was all like pressed in and stuff. But like kids, when they're really young, like especially 2 or 3, like they get smashed, like their fingers get smashed, and they just like balloon right back up.
Yeah,
like
they're resilient.
Yeah, like, and that's like why my finger grew back, like my thumb also too.
Yeah,
but
we had a fucking episode here in the greenhouse this last week. My kids have been really into baseball, right? Like, it's been my 3 boys in particular. It's been all baseball all the time. All they want to do is be outside playing catch, and I'm fine with it. You know, I'm a video game proponent myself. I like to play video games, but like, if the kids are going to be out there playing catch, I'm going to be out there with them. I'm in the middle. I just finished cooking dinner, just sat down after a long day of work, and all of a sudden I hear a fucking like blood curdling scream.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I run outside, and my daughter is holding her mouth, and I'm like, "What the fuck happened?" And the boys were yelling at Avery, and which pissed me off. And I go down there, and she is just inconsolable, just losing her shit. She got smoked in the mouth with the baseball. And so it turned into a big conversation with all the boys, like, "Hey, like, even if you hurt somebody accidentally, be empathetic. Like, go and check on them. Don't scream at them that they were standing in the wrong fucking spot." And she came in and got ice on her mouth and got her to calm down. And and maybe I'm an asshole dad, but the first thing that I said to her when she calmed down is like, "Well, what did you learn? Not to stand behind the boys when they're throwing. All right. Are you okay?" "Yeah." You know, just one of those. That might have been a little direct, but a teachable moment nonetheless.
Yeah. Lesson learned, I suppose.
Yeah, and apparently they asked her multiple times, like, "Hey, go stand somewhere else so we don't smoke you in the face with this ball."
Oh.
So kind of a natural consequence. I mean,
yeah, at least she didn't lose any teeth or anything. Yeah. That would have been bad. Yeah. I hate like getting a cut. Oh, I got a cut once. You know, mandolin slicers. Don't ever get confident with one of those, because those things will ruin your life. Like, I was cutting potatoes or something, and I had the attachment or whatever, but I got real, I don't know, ballsy with it. I just got confident, I guess. Like, I was just like, this is good, you know, as long as I'm paying attention. And the one time I was like, and then I'm like, I'm never doing it again. Because I thought the attachment thing to stick into your vegetable was a pain in the ass. So that's why I was like, oh, whatever, I'll just use my hand. But those blades are like, they're V-shaped. Like, I don't know. It's just like whenever I use one now that I cut, it just cut off like the very edge of my finger, like the whole thing. And it was like such a clean, perfect, like samurai fucking cut.
Which is good.
Yeah. And it was like, it was so good that like, it was such a clean cut that like the skin, like the chunk of thumb that I found was pure white and no blood, no nothing. And then I sat there and I looked at it and it did not bleed for a really long time. And I was just like, and then it was like, blah, and I was like, oh my God.
Like a volcano.
Yeah.
So more green drama. Did I tell you my wife tried to kill me this week?
Oh shit. Get it on. Did she give you the green Kool-Aid?
She did not. I'm putting it out on the internet.
Antifreeze.
I want everybody to know that this woman that I just got tattooed with attempted murdered me this week. So we've been doing some cleaning up around the yard, and we had like a lot of like, we have a bunch of trees and shit. So we have sticks and stuff like that I ran out of room in my garbage can. So I'm like, well, fuck, just throw it in the fireplace. We'll burn it. And she's like, well, it's wet. And I'm like, that's okay. We'll get a couple logs in there. Just pour a touch of gas on there and it'll burn. And so I'm finishing up mowing and I go over to her and she just got done getting all the stuff ready for the fire. Said, all right, did you put a little gas on there? Yeah. She's like, yeah, I put a little bit on there. I said, all right, let me go grab the lighter. I go and light this motherfucker. Poof. Like a big fucking ball. Like, I'm surprised I have eyebrows. If you look, you can see all the hair on my arm instead. She did not do just a little dab. A little bit goes a long way when you're pouring gas on a fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, she blew the shit. And thankfully I had the wherewithal to turn my head because you can hear it when it happens fast. It's whoosh. Yeah, and because I have a torch lighter, so I get to stand back a little way. If it had been a fucking Bic lighter, I'd have been fucked.
To the hospital.
Yeah, but I'm like, oh fuck, turn my head. But yeah, she tried to blow me up this week.
Keep an eye out for other accidents, or like, hey, you want some of this fizzy tea I made you, or whatever.
It just so it's documented. Now, if something else happens again, that's a pattern, and she's cashing in on the life insurance. Don't let her have it.
I used to have a Zippo lighter when I was younger, and I was like, oh man, it ran out. I got to figure out how to like load this thing up to make it burn, right? And so this was the first Zippo I ever had. First time I ever had to buy anything to fill a Zippo. I didn't know what to get. And so I was like, butane, right? So I grabbed butane, right? And I was sitting there, I was like, come on, all right. And I got the gas version of butane, right? And I was like, but when I pressed it, I could feel like a liquid. So I'm like, maybe it's jammed or something like that. I think a liquid's supposed to come out, but I could feel the liquid spraying on my hand when I was doing it. So I was like, psh. And so I was like really trying to get it. And I was like, I don't get it. And I looked at the thing and I kind of glossed over the instructions and I just kept trying, right? Meanwhile, I got fucking liquid butane all over my legs. And so I'm sitting there, psh, 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 right? It's just like the fucking movies. Big ball of fire. I'm in my bedroom and I'm like, oh, and you can see my fucking, I had a really small amount of facial hair back then, but then you could see my eyebrows, my eyelashes burned. My facial hair burned, the tips of my hair all burned. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God. And I'm sitting there on the edge of my bed and I'm like, and so I'm like patting myself, trying to make sure I'm not on fire. And then I see like a light flickering and the lighter, I had freaked out and dropped it. The lighter was on fire under my bed. And so I was like, oh my God. So I was like running to go get a towel at the time and I throw it on. I'm like, oh God, I scorched the bottom of my bed.
Oh God.
But God, that was like, I remember being like, that was one of the dumbest things I've ever done was like, why is this gas butane? Like just whatever, I was just young and dumb, but, yeah, that was Almost died then too, but I was like, you could feel the flames touch my eyeballs. Like it was fucking hot.
It's real hot, real fast.
And and just like, and I remember just touching. I remember I didn't realize that my hair was like singed yet until I went and I grabbed like my face, to
get
check.
That, like, dust.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh my god. Oh my God. And I went and looked at myself and I went, oh my God. You could just see like the singed, it was just like a cartoon, just like without like the like gunpowder black, like poof in my face without that, but everything else was just singed. Man, that was fucking dangerous. Like, and I was like a teenager. So like, I wasn't even like a young kid being dumb. I was just like trying to fill my lighter or whatever.
Aren't you glad you don't smoke anymore?
Yeah. I mean, it's too expensive. I remember when I was like, looked at the price. I was like, good God, that's what they're going for nowadays?
Tobacco prices are fucking outrageous.
Well, every time they're in my lifetime, they're just not gonna do it anymore.
No,
they're phasing out smokers, which is fine. I
remember when like packs of cigarettes, were like $4.
Yeah.
And now they're like $9.
Yeah. The when I smoked, they were $5.25 or something like that. And yeah, I was, and then it was like, oh, they're raising the price of cigarettes again. Sons of bitches. But anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about some interesting. So I got a list, and I want you to. I want to talk about some of these things that this list that we can talk about. It's some interesting facts that I've discovered. So I want to read you this list, and then we'll have a little bit of a back and forth about each one. Okay. So the world's oldest known living organism is a tree named Methuselah, which is over 4,800 years old and can be found in California's White Mountains.
Is that part of the redwoods?
I don't know. Maybe.
4,800 years old, huh?
Yeah. So it must be huge. It must be like one of those really wide trees, I bet.
It's got to be. It's got to be.
Yeah. Especially if they're able to like, date it, like that.
I would assume that they don't let people go
I would assume,
to it.
Yeah. I think it's interesting when things are like that old, like, or like the turtle. Have you ever seen like the turtle? It was like, here's a picture of this turtle who is with this historical figure, and here they are like with this other historical, or like
it was tortoise with Darwin.
It was like this tortoise is like 200 years old or something like that. They get really old. So I think it's really interesting because it's like, oh, but they're an animal, so like they're not going to be like, anyway, that guy was a prick. So
that Darwin was a real asshole. Queen's nice though.
Yeah. All right, honey never spoils.
Yep.
Archaeologists have found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are over 3,000 years old and still perfectly edible.
It's kind of crazy to me that is kind of the only food that we have that it doesn't spoil. Like that we could not chemically break that down to figure out what it is that makes it not spoil. And it
must be like protective, like amber, like how amber is like really gooey, sticky, so it's like kind of like tar, like something that's in a tar pit is, that's found in a tar pit is usually, so it's like because of that consistency, like nothing can get in or out. So
it just seems like we'd be able to apply that to more foods. That's that same kind of
just spray everything with honey.
Spray everything with honey. We should do a science experiment. We'll spray a piece of bread with honey and put it next to a piece of bread that doesn't have honey and see how long till they grow mold.
It's freaking genius. You got moldy bread on your counter for 2 weeks. Did you ever see like the wine they found, the bottles of wine that are like, they're like thick, chunky, like now, but they were like still technically edible. They're a couple hundred years old. They're like, 300 or 400 years old. And they said like, it's pretty much like cheese now, basically like grape cheese. That's how like separate it is and over time and shit. Anyway, kind of interesting. Shortest war in history took place between Britain and Zanzibar in 1896. It only lasted 38 minutes.
Some nice birds chirping, isn't it? Sorry, that was distracting.
I just like the idea that Britain and Zanzibar were like, you know what? Fuck you. And then the Zanzibar's like, you know what? Fuck you. And then 38 minutes later, they're like, you're all right.
You're fine.
You're good. Yeah.
Was it at 2 a.m. in a pub?
Probably, I bet. Yeah. We're going to war. Then like midnight hits. And they're like,
Closing time.
Closing time. Yeah. Octopuses have 3 hearts. 2 hearts pump blood to the gills while the third circulates it to the rest of the body. Octopus is probably one of the most interesting creatures ever, because like the fact that they're able to like, my wife does not like them because they're too smart. But the fact that they can like disguise themselves as rocks, like their skin changes consistency, like changes texture and things it's insane. Or like that guy he had an octopus in his office. Did you ever see about that? And like the octopus got out and was pretending to read a book to like fool him, you know? So it's sitting there in his chair and it flipped a page. Like it was flipping pages and shit.
Jesus fuck.
So like octopus, yeah, it's insane. Those things are crazy.
I know you have a massive fear of it, but I love the ocean and all the shit in there. I
think it's fascinating. I just think that at a certain point I would go, I gotta get out of this water for a minute. I don't feel good about it.
So if you had an opportunity like James Cameron to go down in the Marianas Trench in pitch black, no,
I don't think I could do it.
No,
I think that.
What if I was going with you?
I don't know. Well, okay, pressure is scary because as soon as the pressure gets fucked up, then you're like a tin can.
So here's my
with
logic.
a guarantee that we'll be safe and stuff.
Yeah, and my logic's the same with skydiving, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're making the choice to go that deep,
you're willing to accept the risks.
You're willing to accept the risk.
Yeah.
And most likely, if we're going down to the Marianas Trench in a sub and shit pressurizes, there is not going to be a significant amount of time for us to acknowledge what's happening or even comprehend what's happening.
Oh yeah,
and
no, it'd be like
a snap.
And like Magneto crushing a train car.
Yeah, it's
that
just
movie.
Game over.
Yeah.
And you know, it's
Game over, man.
If I'm gonna die, I'd rather do that than fucking cancer at 90, you know, and just coughing up a lung and being miserable for years.
Yeah, fair point. Yeah. Go out on your own terms, I suppose.
And like, there's less than 5 people that have been there. It'd be cool to be a person that, I mean, James Cameron privately funded all of his, and I don't have, you know, billions of dollars from Avatar and Titanic.
Why didn't you fucking make Titanic and Avatar? Jeez.
I got distracted by Kate Winslet's nipples.
Drive me like one of your French girls. I don't think she said it like that though.
It's a little less creepy.
Villainous, just like drive me like one of your French girls. Sound like Ursula from Little Mermaid.
She was a little more seductive in her approach.
All right, so the Eiffel Tower in Paris grows in height during the summer. Due to the heat, the iron structure expands, making it approximately 6 inches taller. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, I know. Have you ever seen like people discovering that like, yeah, I'm fucking huge in the summertime. Like when it's cold out, I'm not so big.
Did you know that the Eiffel Tower, now I might be misquoting the fact and you can check me on this.
Snopes.
But it was our biggest structure, man-made structure that we have as a civilization, as humanity, have created since the pyramids. So there was like a long gap in between when we created the pyramids, which were fucking huge. The next tallest man-made structure was the Eiffel Tower.
Okay. I could see it. Unless there's like some castle or something somewhere.
I think it was Neil deGrasse Tyson. I watch a lot of his shit.
Oh yeah.
I pick up stuff from him.
Yeah.
But I think that is the fact. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, please write in the comments of this video, Troy, you're a fucking idiot or whatever. It was actually, you know, whatever, but it was the tallest, not the largest, the tallest structure that we built.
Let's see. Astronauts cannot cry in space because tears do not fall in microgravity. Instead, tears pool around the eyes.
That would be awkward.
Yeah. You crying over there? No.
Just like eye sweat. Just like liquid balls around your eyes.
He's crying balls again. Get him some tissues. Let's see here. The world's oldest known musical instrument is a flute made from a vulture's wing bone, dating back over 40,000 years, discovered in Germany.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, I used to like these facts you're reading off. I used to read. Did you ever read the Uncle John's like porta potty readers or toilet readers?
Yeah.
I used to collect those books like none other and would just fill my brain with. I convinced I could win Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Mm-hmm. I'll watch Jeopardy with my wife and she goes, "How the fuck did you know that?" Because I have a bunch of useless shit up here that I can't use anywhere else.
See, I like facts like this, but I can't fucking remember anything. So ask my wife because I just lost all my ability to memorize anything.
It was pregnancy brain.
Yeah. She got pregnant and I was like, what? I just fucking can't. Let's see here. Let's see here. Longest recorded flight of a chicken is 13 seconds.
I got a chicken beat. I think my longest recorded flight was like 8 hours.
From Montana to somewhere.
Yeah, it was Indianapolis. Or no, Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne.
Oh, this is a good one. The fingerprints of a koala are so indistinguishable from humans that they have been mistaken at crime scenes.
Seriously?
That's what the list said.
You know, like something like 90% of koalas have chlamydia?
I did know that, yeah, because I know a guy who lives in Australia who told us, he's like, you don't want to touch those, mate, because they'll fucking give you chlamydia.
Is that Ducky?
Yeah.
So I was in my my son's baseball dugout the other day, and the kids were talking about it, but they said that all koalas have AIDS, and I didn't want to correct them with the correct sexually transmitted disease, but I'm just sitting there thinking like, nope, that's not right. It's chlamydia. They have chlamydia.
You dummies.
But I'm not like a coach of the team, so I didn't want to be like telling all these kids that koalas have chlamydia, and then having to explain what the difference between AIDS and chlamydia to the dugout full of 10-year-olds.
They got wicked bad crabs too.
Wicked bad. They're wicked odd.
The world's oldest known recipe is a recipe. I knew this one. A recipe for beer dating back 5,000 years to ancient Sumer in Mesopotamia. I knew that because somebody made that same beer recipe.
Was it good?
Did they try? I don't remember. I remember they had to use like lots of like ancient grains and like different things like that they would have used, like corn and whatever they put into it. But yeah, that was it. All right. Ooh, this is fun. Late 19th century, Paris had public toilets equipped with transparent pipes allowing people to see the sewage flowing beneath the streets.
Why?
I don't know.
What sense would that make? Could you just imagine sitting next to your buddy and be like, nice log you dropped there, bud?
That was a good one. Yeah.
Why? What is the functional purpose?
Maybe so they can see clogs. Like maybe there's an actual like reason.
Yeah, I suppose.
Not like, hey, we want you guys to be able to see what you do down there. What you do. During the Renaissance, it was fashionable among the wealthy to shave off their eyebrows. They would then replace them with fake eyebrows made of mouse fur. We kind of do that now.
Yeah, but it's more eyelashes now. Like
I see like people do their eyebrows,
but they like color them in.
Yeah, they draw them in.
Yeah,
they don't use mouse fur, but yeah.
I see those big ass cumbrellas, and I'm like, oh, that girl's a whore.
Shut up. Hey, I Snopes it. I didn't believe that one for a really long time. It was like I saw it twice and I went, I gotta look that up. And then I went, damn it. Because I wanted it to be true.
The practicality of it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. All right.
Umbrellas.
In the 16th and 17th centuries, wealthy Europeans would hire professional mourners to attend their funerals. These mourners would weep, wail, and create dramatic atmosphere to make the deceased appear more important. I want to do that. I should hire a clown to come to mine. Like,
my wife would not attend.
Oh, Yeah. I looked up what that, it's called like colorophobia.
Fear of clowns?
Yeah, fear of clowns. I think it's called colorophobia.
I don't get it. I don't get the fear of clowns.
Well, it's just probably something like a repressed childhood memory of when you were a kid or something.
It could be. I don't get a lot of fears, though, but I have weird fears, too, like being in elevators I'm not a fan of.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess I really can't speak poorly about anybody else's.
My sister Stephanie has a fear of old ladies sometimes. Like going like if an old lady goes crazy and comes after you, that's a fear she's told me about.
Really?
It bugs her. But she worked at a nursing home, and that happened to her. But she had that beforehand, and then it happened to her. So now it's like double fear. But like she got chased, and she had to like go into a room because the lady was like trying to get to her.
That's a poor career choice for somebody with that fear.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Here we go. In ancient Rome, urine was used as a cleaning agent. It was collected from under public urinals and used to launder clothes and even brush teeth.
Nope.
You're not taking any of that salty goodness.
Nope. Nobody's R. Kelly in my teeth.
My wife just texted me bitch, so I got to figure out why.
She knows we're working.
She sent me a gift saying, I miss you. And then she just said, bitch. Miss you too. I'm recording at the moment. Say hi.
I'm messaging her right now. I've had enough of her shit. I'm going to send her a message saying, bitch, we recording.
Bitch, please. Let's see. I got a couple left of these on this list here. She said hi. Let's see here. Ooh. 19th century doctors in the United States and Europe prescribed therapeutic tobacco smoke enemas to resuscitate people who had drowned. So they'd blow some smoke up your pooper.
Pass.
I'm not a fan of that.
I can't even get behind a coffee enema now.
A coffee enema?
Yeah, there's no way I don't like anything up my butt, so. Is she doing the walkie-talkie function?
Yeah, she just did the walkie-talkie. We never use it. Hey, say hi to the people of Drop Dad.
Hello, Drop Daddians. This is Jeff P, Jasper, Jeff, whatever you want to call me.
Thanks, I love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.
I'm adding y'all on that shit right now. Having unlimited access to you two sounds amazing. My wife and I have it, and I never even use it.
I never use it either. I don't know why. Kind of fun. Anyway, couple left. British Navy used to serve sailors a daily ration of rum to test the strength of the rum. They would mix it with gunpowder and set it on fire. If it ignited, it was a proof that the rum was not watered down.
Is that why they call it proof?
It put proof in quotes, so it was proof that the rum. It might be a Snopes thing to look up too. 19th century, some people believed in the medicinal properties of mummy powder. They would grind up Egyptian mummies and consume the powder as medicine. I knew that.
Yeah, and that's why we don't have any mummies left, or very few mummies, because they all...
and they were like in freak shows and stuff too. Yep. Like they went there too. Huh.
That mummy jerky is the best kind, I hear.
God. That's insane. I'm skipping.
Did you hear about the bear that was with the Polish army?
Yeah, I did. That was cool. Yeah.
He would carry ammo crates and
he was like
corporal.
He was part of it. Like, and yeah.
And then once his service was done, they put him in a zoo, and all of his like buddies would come visit him in the zoo, and they'd jump beyond the fence and go and like wrestle with him and do all that kind of stuff, which is, I think that's kind of cool.
That's really cool. Like he had fucking bears actually are like terrifying, you know, because they'll like I think I've said this before, but they will just eat you like a snack. But whenever you find like a bear that's not not a fucking gonna eat you like food, then it's always cool.
You know, there's an author in Montana that has pet bears. Ben Michelson.
Oh,
he has we have a couple good authors that came out of Montana. Ben Michelson's one of them. He has a pet bear. I think its name was Buffy. But Christopher Paolini is also from Montana.
Yeah, wrote the
Aragon
series. 19th century doctors in Europe and the United States believed that excessive masturbation caused a wide range of physical and mental illnesses, leading to the invention of the various anti-masturbation devices.
I mean, I'm still good.
Yeah, I'm gonna live forever. Aztec Emperor Montezuma II had a collection of exotic animals in his palace, including jaguars, pumas, and even an enclosure for flying squirrels. I knew this one too. During the Victorian era, people would take post-mortem photographs of deceased members of the family as a way to remember them.
Yeah, like family photos.
Yeah, and
they would like
pose
set
them.
up the dead body with them.
You could see like the wires holding them up and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's terrifying to see those now.
That's how you get a zombie apocalypse right there.
Yeah. Agreed. Well, yeah. Anyway, that was my list of fun, interesting things. So hopefully you all learned something.
That's a good list. I like hearing shit like that.
Yeah, me too.
Did you see? We were talking about zombie apocalypses. I can't remember who. It was probably Neil deGrasse Tyson because I've been watching his shit. Yeah. But the probability of a zombie apocalypse and it wiping out all humanity is so significantly low because once you die, the decomposition rate of your body wouldn't allow for like anything like The Walking Dead or World War Z or anything like that to happen because we decompose too fast.
The thing that you would want to be more scared of is rabies that goes to humans. That's the zombie apocalypse that you want to be worried about because that's the one that where it's like you just lose your mind and you just are violent. You just get violent and you go nuts. So
rabies scares the shit out of me because it has like what 99.9% fatality rate. Yeah. Because if once you show a symptom for it, you're dead. I think one person has survived it, but that shit scares the fuck out of me, man. Yeah.
And you need to get a shot right away. I got bit by that dog. We just talked about it and I had to get a shot.
Are you feeling okay?
I mean, it was like 20 years ago.
Are you foaming at the mouth?
There's the whole like, diseases jumping from animals to humans. And it's like, man, like we hit COVID, but like it could be a lot worse. Like we could have like, fucking, I don't know, koalas giving us goddamn like zombie chlamydia, jumping to humans, giving us zombie. Like I got an itchy crotch and I want brains. Well, anyway, you got jokes, Troy?
I mean, it's a little one. Recently, we've been cleaning up around the house, posting some stuff on the classifieds, and it turns out yesterday I just gave away all of my old batteries free of charge.
Nice. Let's see here. If you're on the toilet at 11:59 and the clock strikes 12, it's the same shit, different day.
That's true. That's a good one.
Well, you got anything else to tell the folks at home, Troy?
Did you hear about? Oh, I think you. No, I was gonna go. I think I was gonna re-joke.
You almost re-joked, huh?
I almost re-joked. It was about the kidnapping.
Oh yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. I was gonna see if I had any other good ones lined up here. Did you know that England doesn't have a kidney bank?
Oh,
but it does have a liver pool.
Damn it, I should have seen that one coming. Here, I'll give up one of mine. This one's real easy. How does the moon cut his hair? Eclipse it.
Oh, yeah.
That's like going back to that alchemist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Elixir. My wife loves that joke
That's a good one.
so much. All right. Well, if you enjoyed our show and our podcast, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, donate blood to Kevin Peterson at Gmail. I don't know if that's his actual real mail.
I need blood because of all the accidents I've been in. I've lost a lot of blood.
If you have any spare fingers, he'll take them as well too.
I'm telling you, I bleed like crazy too. Like,
do you?
Man, when I cut my finger, I soaked through so much before I was like, stop, damn it.
To put a fucking trigger warning on this episode. If you don't like hearing about blood and gross shit and Dr. Pimple Popper, don't listen. Make sure you follow our socials. They're around the screen right here. Jump into the Discord. You can come talk with us and make suggestions about shit that you want to talk about. Also, if you're a dad that wants to show up on the show and bullshit with us, let us know. Write us on one of those social networks. Write us on Discord. We'd love to have more dads on the show than just our, 8 friends that we hang out with consistently.
Hey, and as long as you're not a psychopath, we'll bring you on.
Even if you are, but I'm going to ask you a lot more pointed questions because you're on that.
God damn it, that makes for good content.
Yeah, little controversy. Even if there's a Terry out there, Terry will talk to you.
Terry, get on here. Terry, you bad dad? You mean to your stepson? You don't understand his poetry? Right in. If you have any dad jokes, throw them out on the Discord so we can read them.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else?
No, I think that's it, man. I think we got it.
I think we knocked her out of the park. Do you want to close it out since it's your show today?
Absolutely. Hey, you know what? Have yourself a fine summer. If we're deep into summer right now, go get some sunshine. Get out. You can see on the camera, I got the whitest legs. I need to get some sun.
I think mine are right there with you, buddy.
Well, you have a lot of hair. I don't have a lot of hair on my legs. Anyway, I digress. Hey, thanks for joining us and have yourself a fine evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.